Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to What She Said Sports. So, there's some breaking news. And it happened a few days ago. And I have no idea as to how this went under the radar. So, the breaking news is Cleveland has a new minority owner, Charles Woodson, legendary Hall of Fame player. Y'all know who Charles Woodson is. I don't need to give you his resume. And I'm like, interesting timing. Now, this happened 4 days ago, 3 days ago. Or it was announced 4 days ago, 3 days ago. I made that video 2 days ago asking, what's bringing about this 360? What's bringing about this 360? Now, some people said, the Browns want a new stadium. I'm like, that's not it. Because if they wanted a new stadium, they would have drafted Shedeur number 2. They would have put that 2 on his back, and he would be everywhere. On his chest. He will be everywhere. He will be everywhere. But that's not the case. What you do see in Cleveland is a bunch of negativity that's starting to be walked back and the smothering of his celebrity status. The complaints that you heard about in the NFL during the draft was, why does he use legendary? Why does he use hashtag be legendary? The owners don't want him because of that. Okay. Those are masks. Those are mere excuses so you don't see what the real problem is. Okay, and people like Charles Woodson gets a 0.01% stake in the Cleveland Browns. It comes with a lot of restrictions. He owns outside businesses like bourbon and other alcohol. He has to take his face off of the alcohol brand. So he has to go to a Tex brand. So it says W. I saw a nice photo of him holding a bourbon, and maybe that was the picture before, but I'm sure he's in the process of doing all of that. So he's changing everything to a text logo and taking the graphic logo, which possibly had himself in it, off. And I'm like, now why does he have to do that? Because something about the NFL's alcohol policy. I'm like, don't they sell alcohol? But maybe they don't sell that kind of alcohol. Maybe they just sell beer. So if they have a no alcohol policy, apparently, as a minority owner, you can't have your face on your alcohol product that you have independently of the NFL. So this stake cost him about $5.1 million. And if you do the math, somewhere around 2023, Cleveland made about $500 million. So let's just say it's 2025. Let's project 2026. Let's just say what you're doing. Let's just say they get to 600 million. Now, there are teams out here raking more money than that, but that still is nothing to sneeze at. That's over $500 million. So if it's 600 million, he would get about, possibly, depending on how they structured it, but in any normal thing, if you have a 10% interest, it's 10% of that. But let's just say the 0.01% stake is of 600 million. He would get 6 million, I do believe. So if he gets 6 million and he invested 5.1 million, his ROI is 900,000. So 900,000 year over year. Charles Woodson's only 48. So let's just say all the way to 100, and maybe it's transferable. Maybe he can, his kids and his family can inherit it. So that's roughly $1 million a year in income for being associated with the Cleveland Browns. I'm like, that's nice, but what kind of power does it come with? What kind of influence does it come with? And is that why all of a sudden they have Charles Woodson, which is speculative in itself? Same reason it's speculative that Andrew Berry had the autonomy to give Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed contract, the only one in NFL history, for $230 or $40 million. So Charles Woodson, out of all the people out here, becomes a minority owner in Cleveland, and nobody talks about it. And it's been 4 days, and what we have seen in the last 2 is what? People walking back the negativity. So congratulations to Charles Woodson and his family. Hopefully he can, like the NFL owners do, the teams can pass on an inheritance or estate planning or whatever. And that's nice for him. But now I'm looking at the perfect timing. Why is this happening now? Because 2 days ago, this happened 4 days ago, Charles Woodson become a minority owner stake and nobody talks about it. It just largely goes undetected. Now, y'all know the media can pump out a story. They can all use their collective voice and scream. Shedeur Sanders is dropping in the draft. How many times have we heard it? They all said it. So, but they didn't all say this. Why they didn't say it? Let me know in the comments why you think this went largely unpublicized. So it went unpublicized 4 days ago. 2 days ago, we see the walking back of negativity by some of the loudest voices. Now, they didn't use Andrew Berry to walk back his negativity by Shedeur. They did use Kevin Stefanski, and that could be strategic because that's his head coach. Then they used, then again, Andrew Berry could be packing his rags and be about to be somewhere else. And they're going to put that on him. So now we have Colin Cowherd, one of the biggest voices who was not on the NFL media staff that we know of, but it would surprise me if they got a little contract somewhere back there. Super negative against Shedeur, walking it back. So now that I find out about this, the ownership, Charles Woodson, and how they went about it quietly, basically unpublicized, I'm like, So Shedeur get his just due. Coach Prime raised him right. I'm like, somebody getting cussed out in the background. Somebody getting cussed out in the background, and it ain't just verbal. It's some legal action happening here. And this goodwill, so we don't look like we're what? What is it? Because of all the people to get a minority stake, and I'm not saying he's not deserving. He didn't play for Cleveland. He didn't even play for Cleveland, but he is from Ohio. But I know it's a lot of people from Ohio. Shit, Dave Chappelle live up there. Why didn't give it to him? So they gave it to a Black Hall of Famer who's from the Ohio area. I don't know where he live at. I think he might still live there. Went to Ohio State. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. But the timing, going unpublicized virtually, walking back the negative statements 2 days later, and now Shedeur can start, and now his coaches are wowed by his impressive arm strength and his deep ball accuracy. What? So people like me go, it's something going on. It's a lawsuit. It's something. It's something. It is something that NFL is trying to clean up a mess. And they're not about to go out here tomorrow and give Shedeur his $2 and give Shedeur his money, but he gonna get it. He's going to get it. He might not even want the $2. I told y'all it's not about the jersey. It's the fact that they kept saying he's a 5th round draft pick, so he doesn't have the option to pick his jersey number like Travis does because he was a 1st round draft pick. Let me know if you hear that again, other than from me, because I've been playing it, got the snippet. So what y'all think about them apples? Charles Woodson buys minority stake in the Cleveland Browns. 4 days ago, it trickles out. It whispers in the media world. It's a whisper. That's the best way to describe it. And then 2 days ago, we see the walking back, and I told y'all, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. And here we are. I said, if you can hear them say, oh, he can start, they O-line have a problem. So we say we already keep an eye on the O-line. And now they have a minority owner in Charles Woodson. Y'all know, y'all saw Charles Woodson. He interviewed Travis Hunter about playing both ways. He's a quiet guy, in my opinion. That could be why they chose him in terms of personality. But of all the people who could want minority stakes in Cleveland, they went with somebody that looked like Charles Woodson, that looked like Andrew Berry, that looked like Shedeur Sanders. They said Andrew Berry basically was going to get scammed out of his pick, so they called him stupid. Only one of only the 2 people to be told what to do in the draft, and he want to sit up there and act like their boss lets them do their job, and we like, you're lying. We don't see him walking back the negativity about Shedeur. They let him push him to the side. We don't know where he is. They let Kevin Stefanski do it. Now everybody, Shedeur's fans are like, oh, Kevin, that's great. Yeah, we rolling with you. See how that worked? Why they didn't let Andrew Berry come back and say, yeah, Shedeur's doing real good. He was raised well. Why didn't they let him do it? They want to let Kevin look like the good guy, and they want to have Andrew Berry look like the bad guy. So you really think that choosing Charles Woodson, of all the people that want minority stake in these NFL teams, didn't have anything to do with the public humiliation at the team level, which carried over from the NFL about Shedeur Sanders and the scapegoat in the Coach Prime? Because remember, Kevin Stefanski said he was raised right. Having a Hall of Fame dad comes with a lot, but he was raised right. That's still a slight to Coach Prime, but he was raised right. Check. So you giving Coach Prime his just due. Shedeur Sanders is ready for this, built for this, blah, 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 blah. Check. Shedeur Sanders getting his just due, walking back the negativity. Shedeur Sanders out here impressing coaches. Wow. Now, that should not be a surprise. I'm sorry. I watched too much pre-draft coverage. They met with him extensively because his arm strength was impressive and his deep ball accuracy is up. They know that. So to come out and say, wow, that we're surprised by something, if you did your job, you would have known that at Colorado. Because when y'all at Pro Day, you see they walking back the negativity. So now Shedeur gets his talent props. Check. When he gonna get his money? Check. So congratulations to Charles Woodson. It makes me feel better that somebody over there could possibly be on the ground. Hopefully I see him on the practice field and they show him respect like they need to show Shedeur. So I think Shedeur is a good company. Now, why did this happen? I'm sure it's a lot of people who know why it happened. But I do consider the timing very suspicious. And I'm not shocked at about what it is. And it's going to be more to come. It's going to be more to come because if they were truly excited about it, we would have heard about this on every media platform because why? Charles Woodson is a legend in the NFL. The fact that we didn't and they're walking back the negativity about Shedeur and Coach Prime tells me it's something going on behind the scenes. Shedeur going to get his money. And he don't need to wait 4 years. He going to get his money. Understand that. He's going to get his money, his contract. He going to get his signing bonus. And we going to move on. And the NFL going to learn, just like Coke did. Stop messing with the product. You have to answer to your fans. All right. So that's why I came on here today to basically say that Charles Woodson, congratulations, makes me feel better that he got some boots on the ground. In Cleveland, he is part owner, minority owner of the Cleveland Browns. Now, I think that's huge. And given the situation with Shedeur, thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.